Let me begin with Professor Surinder Singh Jothka now, who is the director of the Indian Institute of Dalit Studies. Give us some perspective on this. When we look at it from outside, Sikhism, a religion known for really not having any caste barriers, yet we hear of these various sects who are seen to fulfill aspirations of Dalit Sikhs. Does this in a way go against the whole concept of Sikhism? What explains this rise of these various sects?
There are 3-4 questions involved here, and there's a lot of, I think, confusion and misunderstanding. Ravidasis are traditionally not part of the mainstream Sikhism. They are not enumerated even as Sikhs. They are Adharmis. Adharmis are listed as a Hindu scheduled caste in the Indian constitution or in the legal system. There are deras and there are deras and deras. There are different kinds of deras, for example, deras like Sacha Sauda or Radha Swami Dera, which attracts people from all communities. And Dera Balna, the Sachkhand Dera, is a very exclusive Dera of Ravidasis. Ravidasis see themselves as a community which is basically single caste community. They are all old Adharmis or Charamkars, as they're traditionally called. They were earlier organized as Adharmis by Manguram in 1920s, right. And in 1931 British government identified as a separate religious sect. But then because of this Pune Pact, Adharam identity was dropped and they started calling themselves as Ravidasis. And people who are from that community, they worship Guru Granth because writings of Ravidas, Guru Ravidas are there in Guru Granth. But they don't see themselves as Sikhs. They are Ravidasis. Their temples are called gurudwaras sometimes. Sometimes they are called as Ravidas Mandirs. So
in a way what you enumerate actually describes really the broad umbrella of Sikhism and groups under it. Why then have we seen a sudden clash of tension in faraway Vienna of all places?
Actually this is a very localized conflict. What is happening in Punjab is very different from what happened in Vienna. If you see Punjab situation, they are attacking public property. They are not attacking any caste community. They are not attacking Sikh gurudwaras. Actually, I am working on Ravidas sect in Punjab. The relationship between Shromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee and the Ravidasis is quite cordial. There has been no conflict in the last 10-15 years, or there has been no tension between the two kind of groups. There are people.
So what led to the Vienna clash, which has led to such huge outposts in Punjab?
See, there are Sikh communities in entire Western world, in Europe, in North America, and Canada, and they have localized conflicts, all kinds of conflicts. It could be like most of the migrants are actually working class migrants from rural areas, and they tend to reproduce the rural kind of power structure, and there are internal feuds. One doesn't even know the caste background of people who attacked the two Ravidasi gurus.
So you're saying it's more like a local conflict, but it just had such tragic consequences and attacks on public property.
The people who were attacked, they were very senior functionaries of this Sachkhand Balla, and that's why they are angry. I mean, Ravidasi community is very strong community. They're quite prosperous in Doaba belt. They are nearly 35%.
And you're making an important point that they're not actually clashing with groups. They're actually just taking out the anger on public property.
They are
a typical Indian mob mentality, as it were in a way. Let me get in Tirlochan Singh here, former chairman of the National Commission for Minorities. If we look at the whole aspect of the rise of various deras, and not specifically in this case of Ravidasis, as I would say, but when we look at Punjab, which has a unique situation where it has over, I think, 25% of the Dalit population, the largest of the 29%, the largest in India. Yet there have been traditional conflicts on the whole landowner and landless conflicts here. That, many say, is represented the number of deras which have come up to fulfill those aspirations. Do you think that that needs to be addressed more closely by governments, by politicians now when we are looking at this whole rise of deras and conflicts?
I agree with Professor. Today media has not been able to project what has happened. You see, this incident in Vienna is not in a Sikh temple. This has happened in the Ravidas temple, which is a not Sikh temple. So anything happening in that temple is a dispute between the community itself. So there is nothing to do with the Sikh community. And secondly, what has happened in Jalandhar is a reaction which is a normal all over India. So the Dera concept is a very old concept in Punjab, centuries old. And Deras are not particularly Sikh Deras. These are also Deras where large number of Hindus also go there. Even there have been a Muslim saints, even there the Sikh and Hindus both go together. These are, which are still existing in Punjab, which we call Dargah.
So I take the point that you're saying that it's not really about Sikhism, it's a larger issue and it's actually a smaller issue in a way, because you're saying just a local point.